Bill, your thoughts on Lamar Miller and the kind of contribution he made? And that's the longest run of the NFL this season.
Yeah, that was a well-blocked play. Very well-blocked play. I thought guys really, executed well for the most part all night in the running game, and that was a good example of it. And then Lamar turned it on. Lamar got out in the open and did a great job. Lamar has been a great pro for us since the day he walked in here. So it was nice to see him be able to get that type of run.
You said you wanted to get Demaryius Thomas involved, and you did tonight. He gets in the end zone a couple times.
Yeah, Demaryius has done a really good job. It's hard. I think you come in mid-year, and, you have to learn a new offense. And, that's not easy, no matter how long you've been playing. And, I thought we did a better job with him this week, and he was able to be more involved and really have a good understanding of how we were going to use him. I think he's just an awesome guy, great guy to coach, and was happy to see him be able to do that.
Bill, how did you guys kind of handle the night with the emotions of Mr. McNair passing and wanting to obviously play well? We were told so many times he loved to win and would have loved this night with his team in a national showcase. How did you guys kind of handle that? And your team obviously did it awfully well.
Yeah, it was a great night. I think give credit to our players. We talked a lot about Bob right in here, what he meant to the city of Houston, obviously bringing football back to the city of Houston. But, just the type of man that he was. He was a very honest man. He was a very Christian man. He'd tell you the truth. He'd tell you, when he thought you weren't doing well, and he'd tell you when he thought you were doing real well. And so, I think these players, even the younger guys who really, didn't have a chance to know him very well, I think everybody understood, from the veteran players, what Bob meant to this organization. And, they handled it the right way. And that was a good win and a tribute to Bob McNair. We gave the game ball to Cal because we felt like as a team that, that win was for Bob right there.
Bill, you guys, 8 consecutive wins, first time in Texans history to win 8 straight games, first team to ever start 0-3 and be 8-3. How have you seen your team just continue to stay united, play for each other, and get to this point in the season?
Yeah, we have great character in the locker room. It's a funny thing, though, Brian. Like, in the end, like, what have we done? We've done a really good job. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to downplay. We have great respect for our opponents, and we know we've won some tough games and beat some tough teams. But we really haven't done anything yet, if that makes sense. You're in the thing for one reason. And so, we just have to continue to take the mindset or have the mindset that we just need to, improve every day, work really hard. But the one thing about our locker room, I really do stress this, is just we really have a bunch of great guys. In training camp when we had guys stand up and talk about their life story and, all the way to today where we are now, you knew it was going to be a fun bunch to be around the whole year, no matter what happened, and that's the way it's turned out. And we just need to try to keep getting better and try to take the mantra that we're going to try to improve every day.
Hey, Bill, you guys were down double digits pretty quickly. Over to your left. You guys were down double digits pretty quickly. Didn't seem to flinch. Did you learn anything about your team in that little comeback there?
Yeah, there was a little bit of Tennessee did a great job. They came out ready to go and drove the ball down the field, and then we had a 3-and-out, which was just a brutal drive, and led by me, and so we just made some adjustments. We knew that we had a good game plan. We just had to adjust a few things, and the players did a great job. And this is a resilient bunch, so even when you're down, the players they really have a lot of faith in each other, and they trust that somebody's going to make a play and somebody's going to get it done, and that's what happened tonight.
Bill, your pass rush, you guys get 6 sacks, which is a season high, and in particular, you get sacks from guys that don't always get a sack, like Christian Covington. Your thoughts on what the pass rush meant tonight?
Yeah, one of the strengths of our team is obviously our front. That's probably stating the obvious. We have really dynamic players up front. Obviously, the guys, J.J. Watt, great football player, Jadeveon Clowney, Whitney Merciless. But then there's guys that you maybe you don't hear a lot about, DJ Reader, Christian Covington, Angelo Blackson. Nobody ever asked me about Angelo Blackson, but he's had a good year for us. He's played tough. And then the linebackers, having Zach Cunningham back paired in there with BMAC, I think really helps us, and so I thought overall, our front really attacked and played aggressive and really just tried to do their job.
And that tackle on the tight end from Zach Cunningham and Bernard McKinney, that seemed to be a huge swing because the next play, Lamar Miller takes off.
Yeah, that was a big play, the fourth down stop. Yeah, that was obviously a big play. You're backed up, so if you go 3 and out there, you're punting backed up, and they have good field position and may not turn out to be, such a great thing. But, defensively did an awesome job on that play, and then, we were able to turn it into points, which is huge. We played very good complementary football today, which was good for our team.
Bill, can you talk about the play of your offensive line up front, how that unit is, the better you running the ball, obviously you're getting some good protection up front,
Yeah,
how they're coming together?
Yeah, those guys have really improved. They work very hard. Got good leadership in the room with Nick Martin, Sunil Kelamete, Zach Fulton. Really good leadership. Got guys like Kendall Lamb that have been around here a long time, that are playing really well. And they really take a lot of pride in improving, and they're a humble unit, and it's good when we're able to go out there and have success in the running game, because it really says a lot about how them, and then Ryan Griffin, Jordan Thomas, Jordan Akins, how those guys blocked, receivers blocking for us, did a good job. So it really says a lot about the offensive line that we were able to do what we did in the running game.
Bill, Deshaun was very efficient again tonight. What has he been able to do, working with you, working with Sean Ryan, just to continue? You always mention getting the team into the right plays, especially on a night like this, to get the team into the right plays and really run this offense like it needs to be run on a game-by-game situation.
Yeah, he's really he takes a lot of pride in being a field general. Our offense is really based on the fact that he is the offensive coordinator on the field. It's very difficult to call basically what I would call locked play in this day and age of the NFL. You don't really know what you're going to see. Dean Pease is a great defensive coordinator, Mike Vrabel. I mean, they spin the dial. So it's really, during the week, you try to narrow it down. Okay, Deshaun, on this play, it's either this or this. Let's use this to try to help you out. And then you have to get us into the right play. And that's probably 90% of the time. And, he does an awesome job of that. He's a very bright kid and really fun guy to coach.
Bill, first drive of the second half, you go for it on 4th and 1, up by 14 points. Pretty aggressive move. What was your thinking on that decision?
Yeah, I felt like I had a good play there, and then we had a short 4th down later in that drive, and I didn't go for it. I just felt like I had a good play on that particular, point in time, and then, to be honest with you, probably should have gone for it on the next 4th down, decided to kick the field goal, but we had a couple holding penalties on that drive. Just seemed like kind of a messy drive, so I really just wanted to get points out of the drive. But Hop and Deshaun did a great job on that 4th and 1. It was a blitz 0, and they recognized it. Hop adjusted his route, and it was a really nice play.
Was the chemistry, between Hop and Sean kind of like obvious during this game?
The chemistry, yeah, they do a good job. They work hard together. They sit right over here, right next to each other. Demaryius is in there. Kiki, they sit over in this area, and they when we watch tape, there's a lot of give and take in the room, and they work really hard. And then out at practice, they really try to fine-tune things. There's not a lot of reps at practice during this time of the year, so they spend a lot of time talking football, trying to work it out on the practice field, and hopefully we can continue to do that. That's going to be a big thing for us.
Bill, when the team was 0-3, you talked about how you and the staff, you guys have to do a better job coaching better. I'm curious, during this run, what specifically do you think you and your staff have done really well, getting the best out of this team during this run?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just do think, anytime you lose, you got to coach better. That's just what I think. And, I think we as a coaching staff, Romeo, myself, Brad Seeley, when we don't win, we look in the mirror first, and then we try to come in here and try to teach the players some of the things that we have to improve on, and then some of the things that they have to improve on. And our players do a really good job of really trusting what we're trying to tell them and going out on the practice field and trying to execute it. Hopefully that leads to good execution on the game field.
What would you say has been some of the biggest improvements the team has made just collectively?
I think we're playing a little bit better complementary football. I think if you look back, and I don't really like to look back too much, but we're outside of the Washington game, we're taking care of the ball better. I think defensively we're getting more takeaways. We're able to turn those takeaways into points, especially, that happened tonight, whether it was a takeaway or good field position. I think we're playing better complementary football, and I think our special teams is doing a very good job. I think our coverage units do a good job. Our return game is better, and hopefully it all can continue. Because we really, like I said, like we haven't done anything. You know, we've won 8 in a row. Everybody, you know, clap for that. That's fantastic. But like, what have you done? You know, you haven't really done much.
Hey, Bill, as you guys continue on and you build on what you're doing, where are you looking for the improvement to come from? What areas do you say, you know what, if we could do this a little bit better?
I still think we can be more consistent. You know, I think, you know, whether it's the start of the game or, you know, maybe the third quarter, you know, I don't think we're great in the third quarter. I think tonight, the start of the game wasn't great. I just think there's times where I can do a better job of helping the team get into a better rhythm. And hopefully that's an area where we can improve, or we're in a good rhythm throughout the game, if that makes sense.